Good morning. My name is Ahmed Olayiwaju. I welcome you all to this interesting initiative by the Scholar Network. I'll be working through your database technology. This is supposed to be week 2 of database technology. But before I go on, let me do a brief introduction of myself. My name is Ahmed Olayiwaju. I am a principal systems analyst at the Management Information System Unit of University of Ibadan. I'm basically responsible for the database technology we use, the learning management system, and the journal management system. I'm also active in the AI community, the TensorFlow community, and the Ibadan R user group. Other communities which I'm also very active because Black in AI, Data Science Africa, Data Science Nigeria, and Google Developer Group Ibadan. Last week, in the first week of the database technology class, we went through this following outline: intro to database, SQL theory, basic database technology terminology, installing stroke familiarization of the MySQL interface, creating a database and a table, and data types. So what is a database? Or would I say, what do we understand by database? Database has come a long way, a very long way. It's been in existence for a long time. But in some other places, you hear things like database management system, database technology by various organizations. But in essence, a database is a large integrated collection of data, like an enterprise. In real world, you could have a student database, you could have a student database, you could have collection of courses database. Let's look at student and courses now. Madonna, as a student, is taking a course CSC 401. That's a good example. Now, looking at database management system, these are softwares designed to store and manage databases. Examples of things we use database for includes banking, airline reservations, university registrations, grades. But in the real essence, why do we need a database? Of course, we are trying to ensure that we have data consistency, easy access to data, integrity challenges, updating of data. These are the reasons why we actually use databases. We want concurrent access by different users to data without any challenges. You want this data to be secured. You want a uniform administration. And we're also looking at an easy way to recover from crashes. You have had instances where, oh, we lost all our data. We don't want this kind of challenges. That's why we are interested in database management systems. Why do we need to store database? Of course, the rate at which data being generated is growing is at an astronomical rate. And we hope with databases, we are able to make use of these technologies for our benefits. So we move to SQL theory. What is the meaning of SQL? Structured query languages. On SQL, we want to go through a little overview of SQL. SQL is the meaning of communicating with a database. According to the American National Standard Institute, it is a standard language for relational database management system. SQL statements are used to perform tasks such as update a database, retrieve data from a database. Most common relational database management systems like Oracle, Sybase, Microsoft SQL Access, Ingress, they have, or they make use of SQL. Of course, the implementation might be different, but they still maintain a general implementation, such as the select statement, insert, update, delete, create, and drop, that can be used to accomplish a lot of tasks when we are using SQL. So let us look at some basic database technology that we might be familiar with. Some of us are familiar with Oracle, Microsoft Access, SQL Server, and a whole lot of them. They all have one common goal, which is to make it possible or seamlessly the use of database administration. Database administration. But of course, you cannot make use of a database technology without having one installed on your computer. For the purpose of this exercise or this class, we'll be using the database technology for MySQL. Of course, MySQL has been acquired by Oracle in recent years. So I'll walk us through how we can actually install MySQL server on our system. Of course, the first thing you have to do, let me share my screen so that we can actually go through the process together. Okay. So I can go through the process together. Okay, I think I'm, hold on, basic screen sharing. Okay, show all windows. Okay, just hold on a second. I'm trying to get the specific website where I was doing that. Let me see if it is this. Just hold on a second. I think I actually saw it somewhere here. Okay. Yes, somewhere here. Yes, this is good. So, of course, the easiest way I always advise us is, let's go through, I'm trying to go backward now so that you can actually follow together. For some of us, I just advise, just go to google.com, click on download MySQL. Of course, we are looking at the community version where we can actually play around and we are not restricted to anything. So if you click download MySQL, you could go through, you see the results, you can click MySQL community straight up, or for some of us, I want to go to the main website. I click on download. Because I'm interested in database, right? I look for the Microsoft community download. Okay. And there again, yeah, I look for the Microsoft SQL installer for Windows. Okay. So if you want to install via the web, you can choose the first option. But if you want to install, download, this is better if you need to share download file with others. You can see it's quite much. It's quite much. It's about 420 megabytes. I was able to download it. I had downloaded earlier. So this is mine somewhere here. Let me locate the file, show in folder. So this is where I actually downloaded mine. So I double click on it. Okay, of course, it's telling me it's preparing to install this so that I can actually get to use this. So walk through the process together. Of course, to save us our time, I might have to pause the video so that we can see. Okay, yes, that's right. So I can actually pause the video. Of course, the speed at which the software installs on your laptop or your desktop depends on the capacity of your computer. Like my own computer now is an 8 gig RAM computer, 500 gigabyte hard drive. Is a Core i5 system. Okay, so it is installing right away. Of course. Now it depends on what I'm doing. Of course, this is supposed to be a developer system, so I'll install This installs all the tools needed for Microsoft development process. Server only client only. For full, of course, install all of the posts available in this catalog, including Microsoft Server, Shell, Router, Workbench, connectors, and a lot more. So for my own sake, let me just try this. Let me try this. Let me try this. This will be nice. It'll be a nice one. Full. Let me try and install the full version. So it is asking me if I actually meet any of these requirements for installation. Sometimes it could be so funny. So let me just go ahead and click. But sometimes, because of some peculiarities regarding installation of softwares like this, most times we prefer that just install the default for now. Just install default for now and click on next. Okay, next. Oh, this product would not be installed. Do you want to continue? So it's telling me now that I have some missing components that is not part of. This is challenge when you're installing new softwares. I deliberately wanted us to go through this scenario where we have challenges of installing missing softwares. Let's click on each. MySQL server. Let me click on this. Okay, let me check it. As you can see, it is failing. This requirement is missing. Okay, let me try and click on that again. Of course, it's also not installed. It's also not installed. It's also not installed. Okay, it's also so. What our advice source is, let me pause the video and let me try and resolve all the dependencies, and while we continue from where we stopped. Okay, so I have tried to continue my installation, but I'm still getting some errors while installing. So it has identified a Microsoft dependency, Visual C++. So I'm going to try to install that. I'm going to try to install that. You can see I'm trying to. I don't. Let me see. Okay. I'm trying to install. I'm trying to install that. You can see it has successfully installed this. Okay. So that's good enough. Okay. It is installed the next one, Microsoft for Excel 1.3.8. It's also installing. Okay. So it's installing. 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 So the next to be installed is Microsoft for Excel. What happened? Okay. Let me ignore so that I can always complete that after installation. I want us to take our time to walk through this process and resolve any challenges we have while installing. Once we are done installing, we would also try and execute some SQL statements. Part of what we are supposed to cover in this class, once we are done with installation, is creating a database. Creating a database is quite straightforward in MySQL. It's quite straightforward in MySQL to create a database technology. To create a database. Let me share my screen again to guide us in this process. So I'm sharing my screen. Share my screen. So to create a database, basically we use SQL to create database. We use SQL syntax to create a database. To create a database, this is a command we use: create database and the name of the database. And to delete a database, to drop a database completely from the database management system, we use drop database. You can see there are no spaces between the names. they are all joined together. So data types. On data types, it's, of course, for SQL, the three main data types are string, numeric, and date and time. But as simple as it is quite complex. It is quite complex. It's just more than that. It's far more than that for the database, the various types of data type we can use in MySQL. I'll want to visit a website now. Okay, you can see, okay, let's even go through this for example now. You can see for the string data type alone, there are various other data types embedded within it, like character, variable character. You can see for character, let's us go to W3 schools, where we'll have so I could actually understand what I'm talking about in this data type. If we go to data types in W3 school, okay, in W3, let's look at this data type in W3 schools. We can actually see that there are so many types of data types under string alone. You can see varchar, binary, very binary, tiny blob, tiny text. So because we don't want to waste memories, that's why we actually make sure we pick the specific data type we're interested in. Imagine if I'm just interested in a 2-character field. Why would I go and use a long text that can take up 4 billion characters? Also for the numeric data types, you can see the various numeric data types. Bits, tiny int, medium, kind of numbers that each of these can actually contain. You can see double. So depending on what you are doing, look out for date and time. If I'm interested in date only, timestamp, time, year, you know, a lot of, but you have to be specific on which of data type you want to actually use. So I think on this note, we can gladly say we have done a recap of the last week's class. On this note, I am going to stop this recap while you join me on Sunday for the week two of this program. Thank you very much. See you next week, Sunday.